You know what? We're playing air guitar and air drums can only mean one thing. Can only mean it's time for another Twin Brothers and Different
No, it
Hours.
only means that he's taking that camera that's behind my bald head and using it again.
I know, I like that camera. It's a different perspective.
And then he's over there laughing at me.
And you wonder why I wear a hat.
I may start doing that.
Aaron Phillips, Neil Portnoy coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you for tuning in, watching us right now on Facebook or YouTube or on the downloadable Go Live Vegas mobile app, wherever it is. We appreciate you making us part of your Saturday. It's high noon here in Las Vegas. 3 p.m. on the east, probably still midnight in Hawaii. I'd never know the time difference.
You always say
but
it's
they're
midnight.
behind us, right? They're like 6 hours behind us or something in Hawaii, right? Our guest has confirmed that.
Is it 6
6 hours. So that means it's 6 a.m. They're just waking up. Or do they
So
change?
aren't you?
Do they change the clocks? We know Arizona doesn't. Does
In
Hawaii
part of
change?
like Indiana or something.
Yeah.
Because another state only part
And every
of
year we change the clocks. Nevada gets on the docket to not, put the petition
Right,
in to
right,
never
right.
change the clock. Every year it's a thing. Anyway, since we don't have farmers here, that's why. Because that's why they
we
did
have
it.
pot farmers.
Yeah, that's true.
We do.
But you can do that at night, though.
You can do it 24/7
Exactly.
if you want.
702-329-6947. 1-855-502-4321 is our numbers. Press the number 1 to come right into the studio. Of course, we're monitoring the chat rooms. If you're on Twitter, which is one of the locations you can listen to us on, send us a tweet using hashtag TwinBrothersVegas. Your tweet will show up there on the screen, and we'll be able to say hello and comment on your tweet. How was your week this week?
Great week.
Great week.
Yeah, it was a good week. It's like Saturday comes and you go, it's Saturday again. Where the hell did the week go?
I know.
It's crazy, but I really look forward to today's show. A good friend of mine, Tom White, is our featured guest today.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to learn a lot about this man and what he's done for the last, I don't know, how old are you, 82? Last few
Hey,
years.
he still has hair, though, so be
Yeah,
careful.
but we never turned that color. We never had the opportunity.
Well, we have it here, though.
Correct.
But he has hair still on his head.
How far down does it go?
Oh, no, don't even go there. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. Anyway, thank you for making us part of it. Hopefully everybody survived St. Patty's Day. It is March 20th right now. Could you believe? Do you
I
believe
wore green today. I thought it was today.
17th.
Oh, I have green on today.
You're late.
I'm O'Neill, which brings up another
But
joke.
that's your
I can't
first
tell.
name. The O goes on the last name. You'd be Neil O'Portnoy.
Yeah, Portnoy. That sounds Irish.
Portnoy.
Yeah. Jesus.
That'd be like Portnoyowitz. Well, you're already Jewish, so we don't have to add the
Portnoyski.
whiskey.
Make me Polish.
Yeah, we talked about that
We did.
a while back on the
Yeah.
show, that you have family back in Poland.
That's correct.
That explains a lot. But anyway, some news and highlights.
Who won what?
Well, no, I have no winnings this week to report. This is like the first week in like 3 months.
How about the guy that put down $100,000 an hour before the Ohio State basketball game because he went to see a psychic and they said that Ohio State will win big, and they got upset. $100,000 loss later. How do you think he's feeling?
Probably not too bad, because if you can afford to put down $100,000 an hour before a game,
Yeah.
it's probably like a
all
dollar.
cryp-
It's probably like $1 for
It
you
was,
and
all,
I.
it was all cryptocurrency. I don't know.
Exactly. Annabella tells us it's actually 9 a.m. in Hawaii, so it's not 6 hours. It is 6 hours. What did I say? 6 a.m. Yeah, I was. My math is bad. It's my third show today, so my math is bad.
So it's
12
9. It's 9 a.m.
She says it's 9 a.m. in Hawaii.
That's
So
3 hour
that's only
difference.
3 hours. That was more than that. Lisa Mascari says hello. Of course,
Hi,
as always, thank you,
Lisa.
Lisa. Debbie Urnich is in there. Beautiful day in Henderson. Yes, it is.
Jazz and Jeannie Bree.
She's in there?
Yeah, she's
I don't
in
I don't see her in my chat
She
room.
says she's watching.
All right. That's good. Thank you, Jazz and Jeannie. Been a while. Listen, I want to know from you how Don is doing. Don and Gloria. Don Hill, famous saxophone player from the Treniers. You remember the Treniers
Sure.
when Vegas was what it was? The Treniers made Vegas and its lounge acts. Well, I had the pleasure of meeting him. Jeannie has her, why am I blank? Jazz and Jeannie.
Gig.
Yeah, but I'm blanking on the name. But anyway, they do a show, or had done a show down at the Italian American Club monthly.
Yep.
And Don, in his 90s, was still playing with on his sax. And now he's got, I want to say he's probably like 97, 98 now. God bless him. I mean, it's funny.
Do you
because
want to live that long? I don't.
if I'm healthy enough, yes.
No, I don't
If I'm not healthy and I
Well,
got issues,
just- I mean, you
I
know
got
what?
issues now at 56.
Yeah, exactly.
so-
Break down healthy. Healthy, what you can think.
I don't know. I can think. I can move.
No.
I don't need anybody to really take care of me. I realize at some point I'm not going to be able to do everything that I can do today. But I don't know. As long as I'm healthy, my mind. Now, look. Let me paraphrase this, and I say this with all love and heart to my wife. If Eileen goes too many years before I do, and I'm that age, no, I would not want to live that long without my spouse.
No.
How's that?
It's a good answer for Eileen, I guess. Yeah.
I have to go home to her. That's why.
Good read. Good read.
Hey, listen. So here's I guess we are winners with this. This is kind of a winner. April 15th is the traditional filing deadline for the IRS, right?
Yeah, we got another month.
Yeah, May 15th has been pushed out to. So we have another month to. So I guess that extra month, people can make interest on their money, or whoever decides to pay their taxes, they're winning because they can hold on to it a little longer. But there was also something in there that for unemployment, for people who collected unemployment during the last year, that they are saying that if you made a minimum of or maximum of up to $10,200 in unemployment, non-taxable. They're not taxing the first $10,200.
Barbara Brighton is thrilled right now.
So anybody who has already filed their taxes, they've been told don't amend anything yet.
Did you get your money deposited in your
Not
account yet?
I can't get direct deposit because they have my old bank account
Oh,
that
see,
I closed.
I'm done.
So my number 2 stimulus check they sent via check. So I'm hoping I'll have one in my mail very soon. Hoping.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't make a difference, but it's there.
I know. As long as it comes, I don't care if it comes direct deposit or a live check. I don't care.
You don't care.
As long as
Money.
it shows up. Hi, Sheila Cooper. Thank you for joining us today. 702-329-6947. Press 1 to join our conversation. So you have an extra month. Again, I guess you kind of win there. You save your
Yeah,
money.
you have daylight saving month.
Daylight savings month.
Well, you got an extra month. It's just like an extra hour, isn't it? Or-
No, we lost an hour. So it's
No,
actually
spring ahead.
right. We lost an hour. We had to
So
move our
if you're
clocks
ahead, you gain, right? If you're behind, you lose.
right. We lost an hour.
See,
of
that's
sleep
why
that
I don't
night.
gamble.
No,
I don't understand how it works.
Yeah. I looked at your face the other night on Thursday when you were sitting and listening to that gentleman about the cryptocurrency. He might have been talking Chinese to you.
He was. I had no clue.
Jeez.
No clue.
He was getting a crash course on cryptocurrency.
No clue.
All right. Some shows are coming back now that Vegas is opening back up. Of course, Governor Sisolak.
Hi, Sparky.
Sparky Lisa. Hi, Jacob. I see Sparky in there. Governor Sisolak said now anybody under 16 and over can now get the COVID vaccine.
With underlying issues.
Oh, I didn't see that
Not
part.
until May 15th can everyone
Oh, okay.
16 and above get it.
Gotcha. Missed that part, which is ironic because that's like 2 weeks before school lets out. And April 6th is the day that everybody's allowed to go back to the building for school.
Oh.
And so you
When
can.
did they graduate? May 17th?
The last day of the school year is May 26th.
Yeah,
The
so
Wednesday.
you're going for a week.
Well,
That's
listen.
stupid.
You know, I'm part of the school district.
I know, it's
I
stupid.
tutor 4 days a week. My wife's an admin. What they're doing is, look, there's testing that goes on at the end of the school year, and I forgot what test. It's got more acronyms than the alphabet has letters, but there's a reason they're trying to get these kids back in because of testing, the state testing, and
Okay.
allegedly. This I have to confirm, and if somebody in the school district is watching, they can confirm it because I know my wife's busy making horseradish at home right now for the holidays. School districts get funding, federal money based on test scores and results, et cetera, et cetera.
So
et
that's
cetera.
why they're doing it.
And here's the thing: when
All about the money.
That's all that it is. When they started this hybrid plan, the students who were coming back with the AB or DC or whatever, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. They're only coming in school. They were only coming in for 20 days for the rest of the school year. 20 days. I just set up my room, my room that I tutor in now. I have 11 desks because that's a maximum number of students I have in one of my tutoring groups.
Are they 3 feet or 6 feet apart?
3 feet apart now.
okay.
And so I had little painter's tape. I had to go into my tape measure. I had to measure
Yeah, but guys lie about sizes. How did
I
you know
know.
it was 3 feet?
because I used a tape measure. I confirmed it.
Okay.
If I relied on anything else, it would have been short. Anyway, so entertainment's coming back to Vegas.
Love it.
Here's a quick list of some of the shows that are coming back. Carrot Top will be back. They're getting his show ramped back up again.
Great show.
Absinthe, David Copperfield, and a show that we always seem to talk about, at least I think this is one, the Australian Bee Gees show. Is that the one that are...
Adam's Deck.
Right.
That's one of Adam's.
So those 4 shows are slated to come back. Australian Bee Gees is at the Excalibur, Copperfield at the MGM, of course, Absinthe at Caesar's Palace, and Carrot Top is at the Luxor.
Good, clean, wholesome fun.
Dorothy and I went to see Sandy Knights do an outdoor country concert at Sterling Club.
Oh, Sterling Club. That's right.
And what a beautiful setting. And I got this, Jennifer Romas was there. And we got to talk a little bit. And she's working on possibly a huge nationwide deal with Hustler Clubs. Because she owns all the rights to the sexy show.
Right. And she's been doing shows down at the Hustler Club down on.
Yeah, she's a little worried about the connotations because they're really not strippers. It's a show.
Right.
And a great show.
Burlesque style show.
But she could take that nationwide to every club.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Absolutely.
Yep.
She's worked hard at it.
Yep.
Now, conventions. Conventions, right? Big part of our economy.
Yeah, the concrete thing's coming, isn't it?
World of Concrete said to be the first large trade show to return in Las Vegas.
Are you impressed I did my homework today?
You looked at it during the break.
I
between
did
shows.
not.
You did. June 8th through 10th at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Now, of course, that one, along with usually CES in January, those are usually our
That's
two
your
largest
big show.
ones. So this is good that now somebody had to be the first to come back as a convention. And the World of Concrete in June, that's going to be very important for us. Here's another event coming back. First Fridays are coming back downtown.
In the Arts District.
The Arts District. First Friday has confirmed its first in-person event in downtown Las Vegas. So the first one's going to be.
Why not? It's outdoors, most of it.
Well, yeah, but you can go in and out of some of the galleries.
You can go in the galleries.
So and it starts April 2nd, by the way, a couple of Fridays. So
nice.
How do you manage that, though, with
you can't.
With people's concerns, right?
You can't.
If people go into the gallery owners can certainly control the flow of people.
Well, the galleries are generally, 8 by 10, 9 by 12 rooms. They're tiny.
This studio is bigger than most of the galleries
Correct.
down there.
Correct.
So, all right. Hey, how about this one? Did you see this one? The Real Las Vegas.
Yes.
It's now going to be renovated and rebranded as part of the Hyatt Hotels property.
It's a good move.
Company said the 2,500 room hotel will be rebranded. One of the towers will become a 1,500 room Hyatt Regency Hotel upon completion, while the other rooms are expected to be branded or affiliated with other Hyatt brands. You know what that means?
That the Major League Baseball franchise is not coming in tearing down the hotel property to use.
No, but they're going to be set up like timeshares.
Oh, really?
Well, think about it. With this last part of the sentence where it says that they're going to be affiliated with other Hyatt brands, the only way that could be is if I shouldn't say only way. One of the ways that comes to mind to do that is because Hyatt has a timeshare program.
Well, did you see that Hyatt now has its name on Resorts World?
I did not.
Yeah.
Who is the company that's now part of Michigan State's basketball team is doing that now too? Rocket Mortgage. Michigan State Spartans is now presented by Rocket Mortgage. Is all part of their
branding.
Of course.
All branding.
You always talk about that. No, but I did not see that one about the one that you just mentioned.
Yes, on the side of the building now.
Ron Garrett, good to see you, buddy. He says Vegas is back. Love you.
Hey,
Thank
Ron,
you, Ron,
quick note to Ron. I went to your Facebook page because, I want to get you Portnoyed. And you need to update photographs, from 2013. You don't look like that anymore. So you got a good head and shoulders. Send it over to me, please.
Well, I've been blessed. He and I chatted on the 10th of April. I will be featured as one of his guests on his show to talk about The Voice and all the other things that I do besides Twin Brothers. So if worse comes to worse, if you remind me, if he didn't send you a picture, I'll take my phone out. I'll take a picture.
Yeah, I should have done it. You're right. You're correct.
But anyway, so the Rio is going under renovations. Last thing I want to mention before we go to break. I pulled this one out this morning. The Vegas Golden Knights are considering proof of vaccination for in-person
Yeah, I heard that.
attendance.
I heard that last night.
If you want to go to a Knights game, you may need to get vaccinated.
And if you want to purchase the Knights collection, come to Portnoy Gallery.
There you go. If you can't get to the game, go to the gallery. President Kerry Bubholz, Bubbolz.
We got a new president?
I guess so. I guess so.
Is he Democratic or Republican?
He's reflected on pausing the NHL season at the start of COVID-19 pandemic and how the team has changed. So looks like you may have to prove that you've been vaccinated to go see the Knights.
Like that woman that went into her doctor's office. Never mind. I won't tell the joke.
Don't tell that story.
Okay, I won't tell it.
Got to be off there.
All right.
Or a very select crowd.
Yeah, really.
And this is not the crowd.
No.
All right, before we go to break, I do have a message from an organization that has a conference coming up April 8th through 10th. The Henderson Writers Group functions by the motto, Writers Helping Writers. This is actually something that our guests might know about already. And it's just what they do every spring at the Las Vegas Writers Conference. The conference offers 3 days of comprehensive workshops and panel discussions covering every aspect and genre of writing fiction and nonfiction. Whether you want to pitch your work to an agent, set up a marketing platform, or simply learn the ins and outs of self-publishing, the Las Vegas Writers Conference has what you need. And for $149, you're getting the best bang for your buck. Included, you'll get to hear your keynote speaker, Latoya C. Smith from the LCS Literary Agency. You're going to pitch agents, receive one-on-one mentoring, and so much more. For more information, all you need to go to is their website, www.LasVegasWritersConference.com.
A quick shout out to Diane Rochelle Marcotte H, because it doesn't finish on my screen. And I think that's could be David Tatlock's mom. I'm not quite sure. But a shout out from Indiana. Once again, we're in the heart of America. Hot.
Yes.
Like my Massachusetts accent. We're in
do.
the hot. Soul Juice Band featuring David Tatlock is coming back.
Yep. And he was
Yay for
instrumental.
live and entertainment.
Yep.
Instrumental in.
Kids Uplifting Kids.
Correct.
As well. More to learn about them. So, yeah, thank you for mentioning that. So more and more is happening. We will, of course, share it as we can. All right, with that, we're going to step aside for our first break of the day. When we come back, our guest, Tom White, will be sitting in our hot seat. God only knows why his agent booked him with us. He's obviously desperate for attention. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
We know radiant, healthy skin reflects how you look and feel, especially in the desert. Hand and Stone Spa at Silverado Ranch offers facial services provided by licensed estheticians tailored for men, women, and teens. This also includes a maintenance program to enjoy your clear and beautiful complexion between regular appointments. We also offer exfoliation facials and LED light phototherapy, which will give a result of firmer skin and a smoother texture. It also diminishes fine lines, wrinkles, and dark spots, resulting in a more luminous skin. Call 702-941-7833 and put your skin into our hands.
Pay attention, because I'm only going to say this once. I that up. Go live. I'll say something else. I want you to tune in to Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. They got their own show called Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. It's 12 o'clock noon every Saturday. You can't miss this show. This is going to be great. Don't let me come knocking on your door 3 o'clock in the morning, because you know I will.
All right, welcome back to Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. It's kind of cool when the guest actually chimes in with the air
I
stuff.
was going to mention that. He was doing
What am I going to do?
That's right. What are you going to do? Just sit there while we're looking like idiots? Why not? Join us. All right, today's guest is Mr. Tom White. He's the author of a book called Justice Rules. Tom began his career as an actor, which led to a 2-year stint in Tucson, Arizona at the University of Arizona and a degree from the United States International University School of Performing Arts in San Diego. He is a
Hello,
cum laude.
football team.
You're a cum laude? You're a
Yeah.
Very good. Congratulations, man.
What's that mean?
Tom was number one in his class.
Means I showed up at all my classes.
And not just
You got a trophy for attendance. I love
and
it.
not just the easy ones
It's a
either.
performing arts school. Don't get too excited.
No, listen, my daughter went to Las Vegas Academy here in town. She's a sound designer on
Okay.
national touring shows, so I get it. Anyway, Tom is also named to Who's Who in American colleges and universities, actor, voiceover, you name it. He's done it all, and now he's adding author to his title. Tom, welcome to the show.
Hey, first-time listener, long-time caller.
I've
Glad
always
to
wanted
be here.
somebody to say that. That is so cool.
It is cool.
That is so cool. Long-time follower. Very cool. Well, thank you for joining us, man.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We go back a little ways because we, a friend of ours, Jonathan Scott,
Yeah.
would do his radio show, and Tom was always the sports guy. We had to bring an
Right.
expert on. I talked baseball. He talked nothing more than San Diego sports.
That's not true. I talked about some other teams, too.
Correct, but majority-wise, San Diego. I said to somebody at breakfast this morning, yeah, we got Tom White on. He's a huge San Diego Chargers fan. And they corrected me. No, Los Angeles Chargers. And I corrected them. No, you don't understand.
Well,
San Diego Chargers.
I was 37 years as a season ticket holder in San Diego, 1 year as a season ticket holder in L.A., the difference being that I never lived in San Diego.
Okay.
So a game was a weekend in San Diego,
Sure.
which was great.
Absolutely.
2 days in Carson, California was not cutting it for me. So it became a whole different game day experience. So I had to leave that, and I just walk downstairs and watch the games now on television. But I've got the tattoo. I'm always a fan.
Tattoo. Why is a tattoo always a defining moment for somebody?
Well, because it's permanent.
Well, it doesn't have
Well,
to be.
for the most
No, it
part,
does, unless you get one of those hempa things. You
No,
know?
you can have a real tattoo taken off. It hurts like hell.
No, you-
I mean, one of the things in my next novel, as a matter of fact, I use the phrase "he's as serious as a face tattoo." So
When I see those memes of those individuals with those, oh my God.
it's just incredible.
Listen, my first and only exposure to tattoos was a little thing you get in the Cracker Jacks box. You'd wet it, put it on, and 3 seconds later, it's off your arm anyway.
I was at the gym now, a couple of years back, and a guy had the F word tattooed across his throat, and he introduced himself to me, and I looked at it and I said, "Let me guess, you work from home."
Nice.
Well, he'd have to put a filter on then, too,
Oh
right?
my God, it's incredible! It's
Jeez.
incredible. You know, you're talking about us doing the show with Jonathan. First time I did that show, he called. We have a mutual friend introduced us, and he called me to see if I'd come on because they wanted someone to come on and talk about the NFL draft. And I went, I can do that. He said, we need an expert. I said, well, I have no credentials to prove that, but I have a lot of opinions. And so as I get there, it's the first time I've ever done live radio, okay? And I'm going on to be the expert.
So-called
on
expert,
it.
yeah.
And I started to get a little bit nervous. And then I talked myself down by saying, look, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who the other guy is. It's just a bunch of local guys talking about the draft. What difference is it going to make? I show up and I sit down. I'm just ready to go. The door opens and Jim Fossil walks in.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah. I remember that
Previous
show?
coach
Yeah.
of the New York Giants.
Oh, yeah, my
And I
team.
look at him and I think, what the hell am I doing here?
Did I get off
You
the
were
wrong
great,
bus
though.
stop?
You were
Oh,
great.
it was fun. It was a
And
great time.
Coach Fossil was great.
Yeah.
You guys had great interaction.
Yeah, and he, of course, was the head coach of the AFL team or the USFL team, whatever it was, here in town for a couple of years when
Yep.
that was up. And I don't know, his son is coaching somewhere, if I'm
Yes,
not
his
mistaken.
son is a coordinator someplace.
Right, yeah.
I want to say Miami, but I don't know if that's actually true.
Yeah, but I know he's in the league somewhere.
Yeah.
I just never remember. All right, so you've written a book
I did.
as your next soiree and expansion into entertainment, as I kind of put in our
Right.
promo. To me, being an author, which as a matter of fact, I'm editing my final chapter because I'm having a ghostwriter write mine.
Mm-hmm.
If I wrote myself, it's a 2-page comic book. So I needed something a little more extensive.
Illustrated by Neil Portnoy.
Illustrated by Neil
Well,
Portnoy.
I will say this: of all the things I've done through the course of my life, that was absolutely the hardest thing I've
Sure.
ever done.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why? Explain why.
Because you do it forever. You never stop. You never finish a novel. You just stop working on it.
What's the
Okay.
inspiration behind it even started?
In this particular case, and this happened over the course of many years. The inspiration, it's called Justice Rules. The byline is, how far do you go before justice becomes revenge? And it started at the O.J. trial.
Really?
Okay, that long ago. When O.J. was found innocent, and Fred Goldman, who was the father of Ron Goldman, the kid that was with Nicole when she was killed,
Correct.
got to the podium. And you remember him. He had that big handlebar
Oh, yeah,
mustache.
yeah.
And he stood there looking at the cameras, and the killer of his son had just been released. And he had no recourse. There was nothing he could do short of walking up on the steps and shooting him himself. And I started thinking, how do you get justice when the justice system has failed you and not have to pay back to that failed justice system?
Right.
And that's where the whole thought for this came. And it ruminated for many years. And then I was traveling a lot because I was producing a lot of corporate events all around the world. And sitting on planes, I had nothing
You had
else to
time.
do.
You
Yeah.
had time.
And suddenly I started writing. And then I started taking writing courses online through UCLA and a couple other places to kind of get it in your head. How do you tell a story and keep people involved at the same time? So I did that, and then I wrote it, and I thought, okay, great, I'm done. And I hired someone to edit it for me, and I found out I wasn't done.
You weren't done.
And so I set it aside for a little while, and then I kind of got back into it again and delved back into it. Basically, that happened 5 or 6 times. And then I finally got an agent out of Seattle who read it, and I met with her, and she was just wonderful, and she said, this is great. Cut 60,000 words. That's 100 pages, okay? And I thought, you're crazy. So I went back, I saved, the original, and then I went back and I said, what don't I really need? And I cut 60,000 words, and it became a whole different book. It was like suddenly...
Did you rewrite it again at that
No,
point?
I just pulled stuff out. And I learned stuff like, it's set in Spokane, Washington, which is where I was living at the time, but it takes place all over the Pacific Northwest. And as a writer, Stephen King wrote a great book called On Writing. It's a nonfiction about his writing process. And in it, the sentence that sticks with me, and every time I'm sitting down to write, I always think about this. Stephen King says, if you're a writer and you write the phrase, the sunset was indescribable, find another job, because your job is to describe the sunset, okay? Then I started looking at my writing going, I got to describe the sunset. I got to describe the sunset. I got to describe the sunset.
So were there a lot of
But-
commas?
Duh.
Right?
Yes, as a matter of fact. But here's the example. In Spokane, I was incredibly frustrated with the way people drive. They are literally the worst drivers in the country. And I've driven all over the country. They are absolutely awful. Twice, I almost rear-ended someone who stopped at a green light to let someone turn left in front of them. All right? So not only is it stupid, but it's so dangerous. Anyway, I made a lot of references to how bad their driving was through the course of the book. And somebody finally said, you're just bitching about the drivers. And I went, you're right. And it doesn't advance the story. It doesn't do everything.
Let me ask you
well,
this.
Wait.
Go ahead.
So I took all of those references out and I put one sentence in, which is the first sentence in chapter 1 that said, the pale green Spokane County SUV traveled a steady 5 miles an hour under the speed limit in the left-hand lane. And that's all I had to say about the drivers in Spokane.
Did you have specific characters that you played off of in the book? In other words, the book is about justice. And how do you go about before it becomes what
Right.
it becomes? Are there main characters in the story?
Oh, yeah. It's set around...
Who are they based on?
all fictional for the most part.
Okay.
The main character is a fellow named Brian Wiley, who was an FBI agent in Los Angeles, and he worked for a division of the FBI that dealt specifically with murder. And he was divorced, he had a daughter, his wife remarried and moved to Spokane. And he gave up his spot in L.A. and went to Spokane and took over a division in the FBI in Spokane that essentially did the same thing, just so that he could be closer to his daughter. But work in South Central and work in Spokane are two very different things. And the book starts, they're in this SUV on their way out into the middle of nowhere to examine a body and start an investigation. And it's the first murder he had in 3 months, 6 months. So he's all excited about doing that. He also has a deep-seated fear of the outdoors. So he doesn't really realize as he's being brought out that the DA is taking him out to a crime site that's in the middle of the woods. And so on top of trying to create this investigation and start this investigation, he's all now looking around and he's
Fears
looking
are
for
coming
snakes
up.
and
Yeah.
bugs
Oh,
and
yeah.
centipedes and all that. And I play all of that up as well too. And this is another Stephen King reference in his book, Tommy Knockers. It starts with a woman walking in her back field, and she trips over a little piece of metal that's in the ground. And she becomes obsessed with this piece of metal and starts digging at it. And what it is the very tip of a spaceship that's buried in her backyard.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Wow.
And that's kind of the way that this story unfolds. He goes to this murder investigation. He finds this dead body. He starts investigating this. It leads him to another thing, to another thing, to another thing, and exposes a whole organization that is operating in the country that nobody even knew about.
Is this book available on Amazon? And
It is
where
available
can
on
people get
Amazon,
it?
but the best way to get it is a website called Smashwords.com.
yeah.
Smashwords.com. And it's a great resource for all kinds of books. But if you do it, search for Justice Rules by Thomas White. Use my name. Otherwise, you get all sorts of right-wing conspiracy theories,
Oh, yeah.
and who knows where that's going to take you just because of the way
Any
the title is.
chance of this becoming a movie?
God, I would love that.
How do you do
pursued-
that?
Great question.
I ask
if
good
anybody
questions.
knows, please call in and let me know, because I'd love for that to happen.
How do we search it on the computer on that website? Because I brought up Smashwords on there.
Smashwords.com. Just
Right.
search for Justice Rules by Thomas White, and it should pop right up for you. I have written the screenplay.
Is that a Ouija board over there? Your
Yeah,
mouse pad?
it's his mouse pad.
You have a Ouija board.
I do.
Yeah.
Listen, it's what came in the studio. I don't change that.
All right.
Anyway, I did write the screenplay. It's sitting in with all the other screenplays I've written. I'd love to know how to get those made into movies too. But
We are in the, entertainment capital of the world.
Yes, I know. And all we
There are
need is
people
there it is
here.
right there.
Well, one of them is sitting right here in the studio.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll talk after. We'll do lunch.
If you want to bring up the laptop, I have it up on the screen. So here it is on smashwords.com, Justice Rules. When did the book come out? When did you
Book
publish
came out
it?
about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So it's been out for a while.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say before we go to break that the book, Justice Rules, is your first novel. I know you mentioned you're working on another one,
Yeah.
right? Correct? Was nominated as a finalist in the Pacific Northwest Writers Association Literary Contest.
Yeah, there were 2,800 entries in that contest, and they had
Wow.
8 finalists.
Wow.
So
Good for you.
that was one of the best phone calls I ever got in my life.
Nice. So here you go. You have all the different formats that the book is available. You can get a little sampler page of it and a description of what the story is about. All right. With that, we're going to get ready to step aside. Who is that young guy in that picture?
I
there
know.
on the back
I don't
of
know.
that cover?
I don't know who that
Must
is.
be shading on
I'm
the
glad
top.
I didn't lie about when the book came out.
Where am I looking? I don't see any young guy.
Right, exactly. You're watching Twin Brothers from Different Mothers with special guest Tom White. That's Neil. I'm Aaron. We'll be back in about 60 seconds.
When you think of relaxation, do you think of a massage? If not, you should. Las Vegas Hand and Stone Massage at Silverado Ranch provides professional spa experiences at affordable rates. You will be enveloped in soothing sounds and aromas on your way to total relaxation. De-stress with our full body massage to relieve tension, soothe tired muscles, and temper migraines. You can select from many options, including CBD, deep tissue, sports, and our signature hot stone massage. Call 702-941-7833 and start de-stressing today.
Sugar Shack. I live a crazy little shack beyond the tracks, and everybody calls it the Sugar Shack. Well, it's just a coffee house and it's made out of wood. Espresso coffee tastes mighty good. That's not the reason why I gotta get back up to that Sugar Shack. Ooh, baby, to that Sugar Shack. Sugar Shack.
Hey, I'm Frankie Citro. Some of you guys thought I was kidding when I told you to tune in on Saturdays to my friends and my pals, their show, Twin Brothers for Different Mothers. So I promised you if you didn't tune in, I'd come visit you maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, I kept my promise to some of you people. Now those same people, they get ready on Thursday for Saturday's show. So now listen, guys, when I tell you trust me on this, tune in on Saturdays to Twin Brothers with Different Mothers. It's a current, topical, and most important, a fun show with great guys. Don't let me have to tell you again. Gavish.
That's Twin Brothers from Different Mothers every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific right here on our Facebook page, Go Live Vegas, or twinbrothers.vegas. Thank you, Frankie. All right, welcome back to Twin Brothers. We saw a commercial there from Terry Haley and Sugar Shack. Something's going on with you at Sugar
Yeah,
Shack today.
Dorothy and I, Terry came down to Portnoy Gallery, interviewed Dorothy and I, and we are the guests today at 2 o'clock Facebook Live. Sugar Shack, Terry Haley.
Very good. That should be fun.
It's a good thing Dorothy was there. You need the extra personality.
I need all the personality I can get.
All right, so let's get back. So, listen, you've got a great history of in the entertainment industry, everything from sound design and lighting and set design and everything, actor, the whole thing. Is it really the fact that you started writing a book just because you were bored on an airplane?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So no
Well-
one before that
well-
ever said, "Hey, Tom, you should write a book with your experience"?
No one ever said that. It's like, I had a corporate event production company, which I sold years ago and
Right.
pretty much retired, and I just do stuff that I want to do these days. But when you're in a creative world, you never really stop thinking.
Right.
So
Bingo.
stuff always comes. I'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden I'll go, oh, wait a minute. I got an idea. So this happened to me last summer, as a matter of fact. I was sitting there watching television, and I started thinking about this old girlfriend of mine for some reason. She popped up, something about the TV show popped it up. I've been married for 32 years, so it's been a while
The
back.
fact that you remember
Yes.
an old girlfriend after 32 years, good for you.
And I started wondering, I wonder what she's doing, et cetera, et cetera. And then I thought, I know the one thing she's not doing, and that's thinking about me. And suddenly, a song came into my head, and I
You
wrote
didn't
down
think
the
wait,
lyrics.
you didn't think about all this out loud that your wife is.
No.
Okay, I just wanna make
sitting
sure.
there, just sitting there.
Okay.
And then this line comes in my head, and I wrote it down, and I looked at it, and it just triggered a thought. And then 2 hours later, I had the lyrics to a song. I called our good buddy Dennis Blair, and I said, hey, I just wrote these lyrics. You want to take a look at them? 2 days later, he sends me back the melody, and now we've got a song. And I was like, that's the way it works. It just pops out, and you never know when it's going to happen, you know? So you just go with the flow.
I always say, you know what? When people say, "What do you do for a living?" You're an artist, right? What do you do for a living? You're an entertainer, singer. No, we're creatives.
Yeah.
We use our creative juices differently all the time.
Yep. And even in the corporate world, I was the creative director for most of the events that I did,
Yep.
as well as the producer or whatever. And so you'd be sitting in a room with all these corporate executives, and they say, hey, how should we open our meeting? And you've got to look at them, and hopefully you've had some time to think this through. But I've been in situations where I haven't. And you stare and go, what about if we do this?
Right. Correct.
And you just start BSing, and this stuff comes out. And they go, can we do that? I went, I don't know. I just thought about it.
What's
have
the
to
old
do a
line?
little
Let's find out.
The old line is, if you can't dazzle with brilliance, you're baffled with bullshit.
yep.
But if you can back up the bullshit, it's not bullshit.
Yeah.
Lisa Mascari wants to know the title of the song, all that stuff.
Oh, it's called Thinking About Me. It's available on Spotify.
Okay, there you go. Thinking About Me, ironically.
Yep. And again, if you search for it under my name, Thomas White.
There you go. I produce podcasts with other people. I teach them what we do here. And sitting down and listening to their ideas and suggestions, it's like, maybe if we tweak this, maybe we try this over here. So it's like I'm like 20 steps ahead of them thinking about the next things that they want to do.
Yeah,
So,
I find myself a lot of times when people will like put a little video or something together.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think?
Right.
I have two trains of thought. It's either they just asked me what I thought, so just say you like it and it's great.
Correct.
Or they're actually asking you for notes and suggestions, at which point then you have to really consider and say, you know what, I might change here.
Right. It's
But-
you walk a line like that
Yeah,
sometimes.
and it's like when you have friends that are doing shows, you do the same thing.
Right.
You know, you walk backstage, it's a great show, wonderful, fabulous. And then afterwards at drinks, they'll say, tell me what you really think.
Right, exactly.
You know?
No smoke, no
Yeah.
fluff. Give it to me real. So, all right, so you're writing the book. You've got your second one now being penned. Talk about that.
Yeah, the second one, as
Is
I
it
said.
a follow-up to this one?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I had a follow-up for this one. I've just never really sat down to do it. As I said, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. The second one is called either The Pool or The Siren Song or The Siren Scream. I haven't decided
The
yet.
Pool?
The Pool. It's about a house that sits on the cliff in Santa Cruz, California, and it has a man-made tide pool in the backyard.
Okay.
And the house has sat there for over 100 years.
Okay.
And it's got a steep, rich history of people dying.
I
in
got
the
your
house.
title.
Okay.
Psycho. Wasn't
No.
that a film? Psycho 2?
There's no shower scene, though.
Oh, okay. Well, now you, well,
All right, but they do swim a lot.
but it's a lot of water.
And then come to find out the pool is haunted by the spirit of a siren, and she's responsible for it, and it ties everything back around, and what
How
have
did
you.
you
And
come up with that?
who knows?
Was it the same day the song came in your head, or the ex-girlfriend came in your mind?
I have no idea.
Ex-girlfriend Siren.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I honestly don't remember how I came up with this idea. The pool haunted. No, I don't remember how I came up with it. It just
And
kinda
now I
hit
got
me
a
one
Ouija
day.
board sitting next to me
Yeah.
here with the mouse pad.
Now-
He's talking
Yeah.
about hauntings.
And the good thing about writing like horror stories or murder mysteries is whenever you get stuck, you just kill someone. Somebody has to die. And what does that mean? And what are the repercussions to the rest of the story?
right.
And then suddenly you've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about.
You know what I'd love to talk, to do like a right-hand turn here and talk sports for a second, because this guy is a huge San Diego fan.
Los Angeles Chargers.
Well, then now the
Padres fan you talking about?
No,
San Diego Padres. He said
football.
San Diego fan.
Well, yeah,
So
but you know what?
Way back in the day, and I'm talking Dave Winfield and Ozzie Smith days,
yeah.
I was a Padre fan. But
what about the Chargers? Talk a little bit about the Chargers.
Well, if
your
you-
fascination with the
since
Chargers.
my fascination?
Yeah.
Oh, it's very simple. I grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah.
I was a big Arizona State fan.
Okay.
I moved to San Diego to go to school, And I'd never lived in a place that had a professional football team, so that was tremendous. It was right at the time when they hired Don Coryell and Dan Fouts and Chuck Muncie.
Air Coryell.
Air Coryell, okay. And 2 years after I'm there, they draft John Jefferson out of Arizona State, who was my very favorite wide receiver in college, and now he's playing for the Chargers.
So now you're a fan.
And now, boom, I am like just stuck on them. And that was in 74. Okay, I moved there and started becoming a fan. Became a big fan in like 76. And then 82, I bought my first season tickets. And I had them
How
until
much
3
were
years
they
ago.
back then?
$400 or $500.
That was it.
But I'll tell you, when my last season at Qualcomm Stadium, they were
Yeah.
only $900 a year.
That's still cheap.
I know, it was
For 4
great.
seats?
No, for one seat.
Oh, gotcha.
I had 3, and it was great. They just tore Qualcomm down.
Right.
And I was lucky enough to go down. I have 4 stadium seats sitting in my garage ready to be
Oh,
mounted.
from the that's
from the
cool.
stadium.
That's
That
cool.
will be mounted in my backyard by the pool.
Were one of those 4 seats the ones you sat in?
No,
You don't know.
they could not work that. But
That would have been cool.
That would have been very cool.
Just tell the story that
Yeah.
this is the one you sat
As far as I'm
Yeah, no
concerned,
one's
that's
gonna
what
know
I'll
the
do.
in. They
difference.
don't know that you sat in 2021. They don't care. No.
Interesting. Very cool.
So
But-
yeah, so anyway, that's how I became a Charger fan. And as I said, I left San Diego and moved to LA, worked there for many, many years. Started my corporate event company. We moved to Spokane so the kids could grow up and go to school. And then we were actually sitting out on our deck in Spokane looking out over our yard. And early September, end of the day, my wife and I are having a glass of wine. We have to come inside because it's too dark and too cold. And as we're walking in, she looks at me and says, "You know, I'm pretty much over this whole change of season thing." And that's what got the ball rolling. And we were targeting San Diego to move down there. I'm glad it didn't work out because they would have left a year later.
Right.
But just before I retired, I came here for 3 months on a gig and finally got off of the Strip.
Sure.
And got out into Henderson and Summerlin and started seeing how beautiful this city
Yep.
is, because this city does not get enough credit for
Oh,
how
I agree.
pretty it is.
I agree.
With the mountains and everything else around it. And then I hit the cost of living and the housing, and what I was
And
able
no state income
yeah.
tax.
What we were able to buy here would have been $2 million in San Diego.
Yeah.
So we just went, what are we thinking? And we had friends here anyway, and my in-laws live in Redlands, which is San Bernardino, so it's just as close. It would be crazy
How
to
many
go
years
to
you
San
been
Diego.
here now?
Just over 6.
For me, 5. For
Yeah.
him, 20
He's
something.
still, at 6, he's still a virgin of
Yeah.
Vegas. I mean,
I'm looking forward to losing that, though.
listen, I got 24 years here from New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And I remember when we moved here, we were waiting for the movers to come to our apartment, and I bought the RJ at the time. Every Friday they had the neon section. It was already done before you got here, where that paper showed everything that was going on for like the next week, 2 weeks, whatever. So I go through the paper, and I'm circling. I want to see this. I want to see this. I mean, I had more ink from my pen than the ink was in the actual paper. So my wife says to me, she says, "What are you doing?" I said, "This is everything I want to see and do." And she looked at me. She says, "Listen, we live here now. We don't need to see all these on a weekend." And I came across, and I saved the paper, and it wasn't too long ago where I came across it, and I went through it, and I'm like, I only saw that one. I probably saw maybe a handful of what I had circled. Now, of course, many of them are not even here anymore.
Right.
When you live here, you have to adjust to the fact that I've got all this at my disposal, but I don't have to cram it in on a weekend like we're usually trained to do when you come here. The best kept secret is how beautiful this city is off the Strip.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, we're up against our next break.
Just a quick shout out to Nancy Gabriel.
Yes.
Long time for you know Nancy,
I know
right?
Nancy, yep.
I would love at some point to have her on. She's got a service that's very beneficial for a lot of
Mediation
people.
services. Matter of fact,
Yep.
she's a big supporter of the Fan,
Yep.
and she's the one that introduced me to Andy Coppell about 3 years ago now.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would be cool. I do also want to mention Sparky Lisa as a courtesy of the read that I did here for this writers
Hi,
group.
Sparky.
She joined the conference. She heard the commercial and she signed up for this conference. So before we go to our regular break, let me just share this information again. Henderson's Writer Group functions by the motto Writers Helping Writers, and that's just what they do every spring here at the Las Vegas Writers Conference. The conference offers 3 days of comprehensive workshops and panel discussions covering every aspect and genre of writing fiction and nonfiction. Whether you want to pitch your work to an agent, set up a marketing platform, or simply learn the ins and outs of self-publishing, the Las Vegas Writers Conference has what you need. And for $149, you're getting the best bang for your dollar. So the event is going to include, with your registration, keynote speech from Latoya C. Smith from the LCS Literary Agency. Pitch agents receive one-on-one mentoring, network opportunities, extended access to all workshops. There's add-ons you can also add to that right now. The dates, April 8th through 10th. go to LasVegasWritersConference.com. So with that, we're going to step aside for our final break. When we come back, you know what time it is. It's getting to know you. We'll be back right after this.
I don't know why.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your sales staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
All right, welcome back. Did you play the entrance? I was looking down.
No. Oh, you played
You
it?
did. I'm watching it on my phone now with the delay.
Oh.
Okay, getting to know you. This is the part of the show where I have about 15 or so rapid-fire questions that your job there, Mr. White, is to answer the first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
You cannot phone a friend. You have no life-saving lifelines. Just whatever comes
And
to
this
mind.
is presupposing that I have a mind to.
Well,
no,
listen.
No, you do. I've been with you in a
all
room
right.
with other people.
Well, let's see. First of all, before we start, though, I
Yes.
want to apologize for showing up with hair today. I don't have much of it left, but I do have it, and it's awkward sitting here like
All I
this.
can say is
So-
if you were sitting in my seat and that back camera was behind us, we'd be able to tell that it's starting to leave.
Oh, you know, we could take care of that problem.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you.
The wife of the house can bring out the shears that I know are inside. Okay, by the way, Sparky, I see your question. I don't know if there's a coupon code. Contact, I'm sure there's a contact them in the on the website. Okay, here you go. First question. Favorite all-time actor?
Paul Newman,
Favorite all-time actress?
Julia Roberts.
We get a lot of Julia
Get a
Roberts.
You know,
lot of
it's just
Julia
because
Roberts.
you get that image in your head, and the first image that pops in is always Julia Roberts.
Not
'cause
the
she's just so
ex-girlfriend? Or?
flippin' beautiful. Yeah, that's who I wrote the song about.
Julia Roberts? Yeah, there you go. Then he woke up and said, what was I just dreaming about? Okay, favorite all-time movie so that when it comes on your TV, you're popping your popcorn, grabbing your favorite adult beverage.
There are three. All right?
All right, so let me re-ask the question. Favorite all-time movies?
There you go.
There are three that always get me.
Okay,
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid,
cool.
Castaway,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
and Notting Hill.
Wow.
I never saw Notting Hill.
Are you kidding me?
Never saw
Oh,
it.
my God. You got to see Notting Hill.
How many
All right.
times have you envisioned yourself jumping off the cliff like they do at the end of...
Hundreds.
Right?
Hundreds. I'd do
Down
it
in Notting Hill?
off a boat.
good.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Robert Redford and
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman, they jump off the cliff at the end of...
It was the
They're
best.
being chased.
Not the first, but the very quintessential buddy film.
At that
two of
time,
them.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but... Or would you say Brian's song, though?
Not
No,
compared
Brian
to-
Piccolo,
No.
they were not friends like that? You would say...
No,
that-
but that was a true story.
No, but...
Yeah.
All right.
But
Favorite music genre?
probably country.
Okay. What's your favorite all-time song so that when it comes on your radio, you don't care what anybody sees in your car, you're bebopping out loud to what song?
Born in the USA.
There you go. The Boss.
Bruce.
My
Seen
home
him
state.
probably 24 times.
There you go. Did you ever see him back in Jersey in Asbury Park?
No,
where
I never
Stone
did.
Pony and all
no.
that stuff?
No, as a matter of fact, I wasn't a real Bruce fan until 1984 when
Okay.
Born in the USA came out, but I still wasn't a big fan.
Gotcha.
I got a job. I was really quick. I got a job. I was driving as an advanced stage manager for a tour, and so I'd open the show in one city and then go to the next city and prep it. And then the show
Sure.
would come, and I'd open it and then go to the next city. So I was all by myself a lot, on the road a lot.
Right.
I was in where in Michigan they have Flint, Michigan. All right, miserable.
Didn't
miserable.
drink the water, right?
Oh, miserable time. Absolutely. I was staying at a Ramada Inn that had grates on the end of the hallway because it was a halfway house for the prison. You know, I came back from the show and there's this 400-pound person in the hallway going, "What a date!"
That would be perfect for your joke, but
Yeah,
one
well,
we won't share online.
It had rained for like 2 weeks straight, and I'm a Southern California kid, so I'm like getting freaked about that. The best thing that happened, though, is I had to drive from there to Traverse City, and the
Okay.
only car they would give me to go one way was a brand new, bright red convertible Camaro. Okay? And I get in the car, and I'm driving out of Flint, and I cross this hill, and there's all these open fields, and there's the silos in the distance, and it was beautiful, and the sun is shining, and I thought, damn, I wish I had a cassette.
Born in the U.S.
Okay?
Yep.
And I remembered my buddy gave me a cassette before I left and said, "You'll listen to this. You'll really like it." And I popped it in, and it was Born in the USA.
There you go. Right
and
on.
2.5 hours later, this is the greatest album ever written.
Okay, next question. Little disclaimer for you. We're not regulated by the FCC here on the internet. So, with that being said, what is your favorite all-time curse word?
Fuck.
There you go. If money were no object, and presuming you don't already have this, what is your dream car that you'd like to see in
You
your
know,
driveway?
I'm not a big car guy. I would probably get something like the Maserati sedan.
Okay.
Something in that area.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. Would it be a Stipe?
You see, speaking of cars, Suzanne Hobbs' new car.
I didn't see it, but I saw her post that she traded something in and got something else.
She got a Jaguar convertible.
But it's pre-owned, I think. It's not brand new.
Yeah, it's got like 12,000 miles
Oh, well,
on
yeah.
it. It's
That's
brand
good.
new.
Well, good for her. Best vacation ever taken?
There's a
Flint,
little.
Michigan, when I got that
I know.
convertible.
Yeah, right.
There's a beach in Jamaica called Negril.
Okay.
It's a
been there.
7-mile sand beach.
there.
That would be it.
Bucket list vacation, a place you haven't been to that you'd like to go.
I don't have one.
Really?
Nope, I've traveled so there.
Well, that's true.
We talk about this all the time. Australia is the only place I've never been that I would like to go to.
Okay.
But other than that, we've skied the Alps. We've been to Tuscany. We've been to the Caribbean and every place else that I have any desire to go
It
to.
reminds me of that joke, eats bushes and leaves. Koala bear. Never mind, I can't tell that one either.
Neil brought up a question about a movie, about one of your books. So here's my question to you. If a movie was made about your life, who would you like to see star in your role?
Tom Hanks.
Why?
I've always
But you like Castaway, though.
I love Castaway, but when I was an actor, was just when Bosom Buddies was coming out, and
I
I've
remember that
always
show.
identified Tom Hanks as, if I was still an actor, that's the kind of actor I would be.
Would you feel bad for Peter Scolari, who was
Oh,
his partner in that
absolutely,
show?
absolutely.
And here goes Tom Hanks, and Peter Scolari is still somewhere.
I worked with Peter Scolari once.
Really?
And he's the nicest guy ever. We had a great conversation, but I so wanted to ask that question.
Oh, my God. I
I
think about
so wanted. And I just went, you know what? Everybody probably asked him that question. So I did.
Favorite meal, top to bottom?
Spaghetti with white clam sauce.
Okay. Appetizer?
No.
Dessert?
No.
Favorite adult beverage?
Yes.
Chardonnay.
All right, there you go. Favorite Las Vegas themed thing that you like to do?
What do we always do? I love the Mob Museum.
Okay.
I got to say that. I'm not.
Go in there with
I-
Frankie Citro, though. I'd be careful.
No, going with Meyer. Meyer Lansky.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know Meyer?
I don't
The
know him.
grandson, very good friend of mine.
Ah,
My wife
I was gonna say I
Dorothy
know who
got
he is,
a
but-
private tour. A private
Wow.
tour of the Mob Museum by Meyer Lansky.
we had friends in town not too long ago that we took, and the gal's walking around. She said, "Oh, look at this. That's my uncle." Pointing at one of the guys in the picture.
When obviously you've traveled abroad and a lot and everything else, and now that you're a resident of Las Vegas, like all of us who live here, we get 9 million calls asking us what to do when we come to Vegas.
I hate that question.
So, what do you tell people?
First of all, I say, well, what do you like?
Yep.
All right, and then take it from there. Okay, Jennifer Romas is a good friend of mine. I always try to send people over to her show.
Right.
Great show.
And then I'll talk about the Mob. The other place that I really like in town is the Atomic Energy Museum. That place is.
Haven't been there.
Oh, that's great. It tells you all about the history of the building and testing the atom bomb. How they used to rent out the top of the hotels on the Strip, and people would have parties while they tested
To
them
view.
in the desert. You could see the big mushroom clouds going up. It's just amazing, and there's a great video in there, 15 minutes long maybe, where the guy talks about. At this point in time, there's only a handful of people that are still alive that have ever seen a nuclear explosion.
Wow.
And the power behind it is being forgotten.
And you can learn all about this. at
You'll
the
learn all
museum.
about that in the Atomic Testing Museum. It's right on Flamingo, I
Yeah.
think.
Down on East Flamingo. Notice he's not a good friend because he didn't say to stop by Portnoy Gallery. Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Wrong.
What career would you like to have tried if you weren't doing what you're doing today?
Sports Talk Radio.
Not surprising.
Okay, that's a true story too. I was doing we did a corporate event for the Saturn company, And they're a very touchy-feely group, and we sit down to have this meeting, and they do a team building thing at the beginning. My partner and I look at each other, we try to sneak out of the room so we don't have to do this team building. But it turned out it was pretty harmless. They asked that question.
Sure.
And I said at the time, sports talk radio, and he said he'd be a farmer. So
Okay.
he's now retired in Miami with a big old garden, and I'm sitting here with you guys. So
Everybody lived their dream. I love it.
It is. All right, last question, then you'll be off the hot seat. When the day comes that you arrive at the pearly gates, what is it you want to hear by the maitre d' as they welcome you at the door? Now, as a writer, he should come up with
Yes.
something pretty good here.
I know, and I'm pausing on this because whatever it
That's
is,
a comma.
I'm sure the maitre d' is going to say, "Are you sure you're in the right place?"
There you go. Right on. All right, you are officially off the
done.
hot seat.
Well, that was a lot less painless than I thought.
Shout out to Terry Haley. Thank you. Diana Davis. What did I say, Terry? Ooh, Aaron, not so. What did I say? Diane Davis, thank you for watching. Mark Maynard just chimed in there. He's been busy. We thank you, and they'll all be watching this down the line. Real quickly before we say goodbye, Aaron, would you please bring up the laptop if you don't mind? Now, if you have not watched this show live, go to our website, twinbrothers.vegas. Please note it's a .vegas website. You get to see news and highlights of past guests, future guests, information about Neil and I. Look who's that. We got to get the part 2 up here on the website. I got to have Matt do it. Look at that. Look at that guy. Who is that guy? Well, guess what, folks? That's a live feed, which means if you like to watch stuff through our website, all you got to do is go to
Who was
our...
that guy?
Who was that guy? Seriously?
Yeah.
Go to the tab that says...
That was my twin brother.
Go to the archive tab. We'll take you right to our YouTube channel where we ask that, number one, you subscribe. Can you put the laptop back up? Sorry. Where you can subscribe. But more importantly, not only can you see the live show, but look at all these other shows that are here. All of our archives, everything that we have done over the last, 2.5 years now, Neil?
Yeah, and you listen, go to the YouTube channel because Facebook has been changing a lot of their policies.
Oh, my gosh.
And one of the things that they're changing is past videos that were put up.
Thank you, Sal.
You will not be able to download them anymore.
Well, you can't download them now.
Yeah,
You
it's
cannot as soon as we get done here, you cannot download videos unless you have a program or something to. Anyway, it's a pain in the ass. But anyway, YouTube, this goes back to the days when we were in the gallery and everything else. Check it out. Plus, merchandise is available if you too would like to wear some of the beautiful merchandise here that we have here for Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. Just click on the shop tab. If it should come up, there we go. You got your gray shirts and all that other stuff. You got our logo shirt, the newer logos that we designed. Of course, everybody's favorite is this one. Twin Brothers from Different Mothers, established, 1853.
Having fun since.
You can get my logo on the
Rebuilding
shirt.
since.
You can. You got Neil's logo you can get on the shirt. We got our mug that Neil was so gracious in designing as well. But more importantly, I want to just quickly share this with you. You know, we show just really nothing but shirts, but if you click on any of the items that you see in the store, it'll take you to the print shop. And what's important here, as it's taken its time to get there, you click on it, and look, if you click this little drop-down arrow right there, it will actually show you all the different products you can get with any of our logos on it. Not just T-shirts, V-necks, sweatshirts. You can get a baby's bib. You can get a face mask, whatever you want. And you can help us represent Twin Brothers from Different Mothers as well. So go ahead, check it out. A lot of great stuff in there. Also, don't forget, smashwords.com. Look for Justice Rules, written by Thomas White. The book is available there. How much is it available on here? I can't see the price.
Oh, gosh, I don't even remember.
I don't even know where it is. $12.99. Thank you very much.
What a bargain.
It is, actually. It's one of the best
Bargain at
bargains
twice
around
the
town.
price.
There you go. Oh, there it is. If I look, there it is right there.
Yeah,
$12.99.
click the yellow button.
Oh, is that the one that says bye? Yeah, bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Anyway, check it out. And, of course, his next book is on its. When do you expect that to be done?
I have no idea. I'm sure I'll wake up one morning and go,
I really need to finish that.
I'm going to do that today.
There
Well,
go.
you wrote the first one on a plane. Just hop on a goddamn plane and start writing.
Exactly. There you go. Lisa, thank you very much. She says these sweatshirts are awesome. Yeah, Mark, 1853, Twin Brothers was established because our producer, Aaron Eat, decided to do something funny on our T-shirts, which we actually
love
kind
it.
of like. Anyway,
Love it.
thank you for coming on, man.
My
It's
pleasure.
been a lot
Great
of
to be
fun.
here, guys.
Mr. Neal, final thoughts. as we
Great
say goodbye.
reconnecting. And it's funny how, you know what, you call me up to do this illustration job, and the next thing out of my mouth is, hey,
I know. I don't
what
know.
are you
I
doing
did not
Saturday?
understand the thought process there, but I wasn't going to question it.
You know what, it worked out, and we're glad to have you on as a
Well,
guest.
actually, my first thought was, somebody must have canceled.
No, nobody canceled. We had the date
No,
open.
had the date open.
Jumped at it.
So Follow us on our Facebook page so that you can follow. What is next week? The 27th. I don't know if we have anybody scheduled yet, but Neil will find somebody.
I'll find
We'll get
somebody.
it. We'll get it out there and announce it. Thank you again for coming
Nancy
on.
Gabriel, call me.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Neil, final thoughts.
March Madness. You know, the city, Las Vegas, is starting to see a lot of tourists coming in. All the sports book rooms at the Westgate and all the properties are filling up with tourists. And for those that don't know, if you're in California, rumor has it they speak 234 different languages. But if you include English, it's 235.
Send your comments to Neil at I Draw People. Anyway, good show today. I want to thank everybody for chiming in. As always, we thank you so much for watching. Please reshare our feed. As always, if you go to YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, that's it for us this week. That's it. Next week, new show, new stuff, new people. Who knows what we have going on next week? I never know till I get here, but I do know this. It's going to be the last show of the first quarter of the year already.
Get your taxes in.
Get your taxes in. All right, with that, have a great week, everybody, from all of us here at Twin Brothers. As always, be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. I'm Aaron Phillips for Neil, for our guest Tom, and for Aaron E. behind the board. Go Live Vegas. Thank you very much for watching.
How to get the best.
Oh. So he's going to cut these.